Hi everyone, Dr. Suneel Dhand, internal medicine physician. Welcome to another video. I'd like to think those of you who follow me here do so because you want open, honest debate. You want to draw your own conclusions. You don't want things shoved in your face. And you want to hear things that are not being widely reported in our totally corrupted mainstream media. On that note, I want to share a story with you in this video that was reported in our mainstream media, but it didn't get anywhere nearly enough traction as it deserved. Now, as a hospital doctor, I see a lot of medical conditions, which I treat on a daily basis, ranging from heart problems, neurological conditions, infections, but one of the worst conditions that I have to see every single day is cancer. Ranging from patients who are newly diagnosed with cancer, they come in with symptoms, we diagnose them with cancer, to patients who come in with complications from cancer or even tragically end-stage cancer. I see it every week in the hospital. This story does regard abnormal high cancer rates in a certain group of the population. Let me share it with you here. So this story was reported in a couple of different publications, and here we have AP. Within the last couple of weeks, this was reported, high cancer rates found in military pilots' ground crews. A Pentagon study has found high rates of cancer among military pilots, and for the first time has shown that ground crews who fuel, maintain, and launch those aircraft are also getting sick. The data had long been sought by retired military aviators who have raised alarms for years about the number of air and ground crew members they know who had cancer. They were told that earlier military studies had found they were not at greater risk than the general US population. So as always, when you see a mainstream media headline or you read an article, you always want to not take that at face value, because we never know with our corrupted mainstream media what strings are being pulled in the background, who is paying who, and what the agenda of the reporter is. You never know. So always be wise. I know most of you are very wise. That's why you're here. You want to get this information directly from the source. So let's go ahead and do that. So here we have published online the full letter, Under Secretary of Defense, 4000 Defense Pentagon. Dear Mr. Chairman, talks about the study itself, and then it says the study found that compared to the US population after adjusting for age, sex, and race, aircrew had an 87% higher rate of melanoma, 39% higher rate of thyroid cancer, 16% higher rate of prostate cancer, and a 24% higher rate of cancer for all sites. Those are staggering numbers. What about the ground crew? Well, ground crew members also had higher incidence of cancers of brain and the nervous system by 19%, thyroid by 15%, melanoma by 9%, kidney and renal pelvis by 9%, and of all sites by 3%. However, aircrew and ground crew both had lower or similar cancer mortality rates for all cancer types overall when compared to the US population. So it really was focused on these specific cancers where there were alarmingly higher rates. The year-long study was of almost 900,000 service members who flew on or worked on military aircraft between 1992 and 2017. And even in the original article, it says there was some good news reported as well. Both ground and air crews had far lower rates of lung cancer, and air crews also had lower rates of bladder and colon cancers. Probably, I would think, because these ones are also lifestyle-related cancers. So those numbers for those other cancers, melanoma increased by almost 90%, thyroid cancer by 40%. Those are alarming, and there has to be a reason for that. And the first thing to do is to take a step back. That's what we always have to do in medicine and science. Look at things rationally and logically. What could be going on to give this group of people, remember, these are some of the healthiest, fittest people in the country. Most of them are probably young males in great shape in the military. What made them get these cancers down the line? And the first obvious thought must be some sort of exposure. Now, with melanoma, obviously it could be related to being outside and being unprotected in the sun. But those other types of cancers, including thyroid cancer, that is really a concern. What were these people exposed to during the time that they were in the military? Did they receive any other medical therapeutics at all? Were there any other environmental factors that could be involved? But there has to be a reason for this, and this needs to be investigated. And I don't blame many members of the military for feeling very dejected when they see and hear stories like this, because these are our most heroic citizens. And we have a terrible history of not treating them as well as we should. Other situations which come to mind over the last few decades, Agent Orange is one such example. If our establishment cares not one jot for the average citizen, at least you could care a little bit more for some of the most heroic citizens out there, but no, of course not. Everybody is like pawns on a chessboard. It really is so sad that these people who served their country with such pride, thought they were doing the right thing, years down the line, they get sick, and all they want is answers. What happened to them? Why are they suffering with cancers at higher rates? It warrants a full investigation and some answers, and how can we prevent it in the future? But these people deserve some answers. And I hope that this story is thoroughly investigated. And this is against a backdrop of cancer increasing in many different age groups. And I've talked about some of these before. In fact, here is an article just within the last 1 week in the New Scientist. Cancer mystery as cases rise among younger people around the world. These are people under the age of 50 who are seeing significant increases in many different tumor types being diagnosed. Cancer is such a tragic disease. To finish with what I started off with, fewer diseases could be as bad and tragic as cancer, and every family out there has a story to tell. So when we see data like this, it is worthy of a full investigation. Thanks everyone for listening. Let me know your thoughts down below. Check out my online course and my Uncensored platform. Those links are down below as well. Remember, huge swathes of healthcare and medicine like the establishment are completely and utterly corrupt. And one of the best things you can do to beat the system that makes you and your family sick is to empower yourself to take charge of your own health and well-being, so you have the best possible chance of staying away from mainstream medicine and doctors. Hit the like button if you like this video and the bell button for more similar videos in the future. Have a great weekend everyone, and we will chat again very soon.